everybody, and welcome back as we continue going over my top 100 as of 2025. Today we are doing 80 through 71. And yeah, sorry the pace on these has been kind of slow, but clearly this is going to stretch into March, and I'll just be okay with that. Excuse me. Starting off with number 80, this is one I do not own, but I have a copy here because Mark leaves a couple of his games here. So shout out to Mark, who's the only person I played this with, and this is Twilight Struggle. Twilight Struggle, I believe, was number one on Board Game Geek for a while, but this is the Cold War, the game. And in this game, you're playing as either the USSR or the USA, and essentially you're going all over the world and doing horrible things like running coups and having insurrections. And then you also play some like nice cards, like John Paul II has a card, and he helps Poland turn away from communism. So that's cool. Yeah, really like this game. It's pretty heavy, although there's actually a decent amount of luck in it, which kind of makes it manageable and interesting. Um, Also like that if you trigger a nuclear war, then you lose. So that's cool. Twilight Struggle. Number 80. Number 79 is new to the list, and this is Kapow. I have here Volume 1, I think it is. Kapow is a dice building game in which you have a superhero from their, like they're not generic, but like their own created superheroes. And you are battling against another superhero or a supervillain or somebody. And the way that this works is by you have a bunch of dice and you roll them and then you use kind of this menu to select how much damage you're doing, how much defense you're doing, whether you're doing special abilities. Learned this a couple years ago, I think it was, at Origins, and it's a lot of fun. So, for example, watch me open one up here and not remember what to show you. No, this is the shield. So like you put this in front of you and then you're putting all your dice behind it, which is kind of fun. I actually really like it. And then each hero has like their own stuff going on. So I'll just show you one of those. So like this guy. Oh, maybe this is the basic one. I don't know. Why am I? Oh no, this is the normal one. So this is like your menu of options depending on what you roll. It looks a little overwhelming. It's really not that bad. Kind of a fun back and forth. First one to knock the other person down to 20, or from 25 life or whatever life they start at to 0 wins. Also, you have some other dice in here that you get to build. So it has the thing from Dice Forge where you're adding little sides to the dice and then you get to roll those dice too. Very cool, very fun. That is Kapow. Number 78 was 37 last year. I should have mentioned Twilight Struggle was at 78. So Twilight Struggle stayed roughly the same. This one dropped a bit, and no particular reason. This is Castles of Burgundy. Still really love this game. In this game, you are drafting tiles in order to fill out your little map board here. So you start out and all these just have like they're blank, but they have little dice spaces on them. And then you roll dice each turn, and then where you can put your tiles and what tiles you can draft depends on the dice that you rolled. So like a little bit of randomness in there, but I like it. I think it kind of keeps the whole thing interesting. This is my highest Stefan Feld. Who knows, next year maybe I will have tried Civolution, which is this new heavy game. But as it is, Castles Burgundy, great game. And that was my 78. Number 77 is a flip and write. This is Cartographers. This was 57 last year. This one, you have little polyominoes that you are drawing onto a grid as you explore the land. The theme is kind of there. One thing I really love about this game, it plays up to 8 really well. I mean, technically on the back of the box here it says like 1 to 100 players. I don't know that I would play with more than like 10. But it's really good. It's really cool. I got a bunch of expansions in this box. When I picked it up, I had played it, and I was like, ooh, I'm just gonna, or no, had I played it? Maybe I just bought the collector's edition without having played it. I can't remember. I got this at a convention though. And yeah, so there's 2 main games in here, but then also a bunch of little expansions. Lots of different ways to play. Really love Cartographers. Moving on, number 76, 2 years ago was at 38, and then it dropped off the list to 103 last year, and now it's back, and that's because I played it and remembered how good it is. I also don't own this game, but I have Mark's copy, so thanks, Mark. This is Korra, Rise of an Empire. It's themed over ancient Greece, and you have a civilization, and you are moving up various different tracks, and playing various different cards to get you special abilities. The one thing that I think is weird about this for this kind of game is that on your turn you roll two dice, three later on once you unlock the third one, and then you choose from your action cards, which are always like the same six cards, and you choose two of them to do, but the ones that you choose have to be like lower or the same as the dice that you roll. So sometimes you can get just kind of randomly hosed with you roll a two on the two dice. Which can be a little frustrating. But because that tends to happen to everyone over the course of the game, the way that you mitigate that and the way that you deal with that does kind of play into the end. Yeah, that's Korra, Rise of an Empire. I played it last year with Bob because I think he got it out of the library or something like that. And I was like, yeah, I do want to play this game more. Great game. Korra. Number 75 is a roll and write, or some might call it a roar and write. Tough name. Dinosaur Island Roar and Write. This is one that Amy found at a convention, really liked it. She did a demo of it, separate from me, and bought the game, and then taught the game to me later on. And usually it's the other way around. Usually I'm introducing her to games, but like this one was good find. I initially wasn't that interested just because I had gotten Dinosaur Island, the game that this is based on, out of the library. Tried to read the rule book. The rule book was awful, and it's honestly just an incredibly ugly game. This one looks much nicer. So, much bigger fan of this. And I still haven't played Dinosaur Island, and I don't want to because it's ugly. Come at me. Whoever did that. I'm sorry to whoever did the graphic design if you're watching this. It's a taste thing. Some people think it's lovely. Some people think Wonderland's War is lovely, and I kind of don't want to play that game. I kind of do. But like, oh my gosh, the graphic design, awful. Anyway, Dinosaur Island Roll and Write. This is a more complicated roll and write game, especially because you have two different sheets of paper that you are working on. So one has like your map of the park, and then one has like the people and the other things that you're adding to the park. So you're adding in like dinosaur pens, but then also like you can add little rides and like little gift shops and things like that. You have to manage your security so that the dinosaurs don't get out and eat anybody. Though you could technically still win even if your dinosaurs eat a few people, which, I usually let my dinosaurs have a couple people. Like, come on, don't be cruel. Um, yeah, Dinosaur Island, roaring right. Number 74 is a classic. It was 54 last year, 36 before that, 18 before that. I don't play as much as I should because it's so good. This is Splendor. In Splendor, you are building a little tableau. This is kind of tableau building distilled down to its essence. In that each of the cards gives you one of the five colors, which means now when you're buying a new card after you get that card, you have to pay less. So in other words, if a card costs 3 green and 2 red, but I have 3 green cards, so it's just going to cost me the 2 red. Very kind of themeless, but I really like it. Plays quickly, plays well at 2, 3, or 4. And yeah, I need to play this more often. That's Splendor. Maybe I'll play it today. Number 73 was 47 last year, 43 before that, 21 before that. This is Suburbia. I think I alluded to this last time. I do like this one better than Castles of Bad King Ludwig. In this one, you're building a suburb, basically. It's like a city building game. You're also building, like, there's some city stuff in there too. So a city suburb, something like that. The really interesting thing about this game is the buying of tiles is much more simple than Castles of Burgundy, but the economy is really interesting because you have 2 little markers. One's your like popularity or appeal or something like that, and one is your income. And each turn you move up this track of population based on your appeal, and you move up this track of money, or rather you get money based on your income. And so managing those two, especially because as your population goes up, Like the infrastructure needs are higher, so you lose the income and the popularity, and so you're trying to manage like a couple different tracks basically while building your city to the way that's going to get you the most points. Um, it really makes it kind of visual, the effects of your income, and I really like that. That's number 73, Suburbia. Number 72 is new to the list. This is a deck builder. I've only played it once, but I have a copy, and this is Alte. Alte, Dawn of Civilization. Definitely need to give this one to the table again. The only time I played it was at Gen Con. This was one of, if not my favorite game of the convention at the time. And I was like, I'm going to pre-order this right afterwards. And it only cost me like 35 bucks or something like this. I don't know. This is a new game that is getting no buzz, despite being from Paolo Mori, who is like a very good designer, and also Ole Steinnes. Sorry, I left him out. Um, but yeah, the aesthetic of this game is really what does it for me. Honestly, it's kind of there are some tweaks to the deck building, but it's a fairly standard deck builder, um, where you're managing resources, but then you're also putting things out on the map. I guess that the deck building is kind of its own unique thing, but the aesthetics really make it. It really reminds me of like Secret of Kells, or something like that, which was a great animated movie if you haven't seen it. And yeah, gotta play this one more. This is Alte, Dawn of Civilization. And finally, at number 71, which was 64 last year, 77, 64, it's always around this way, this area somewhere, is Jaipur, which I own and I can't find my copy of because maybe I loaned it to someone. I don't know. Anyway, Jaipur is a great game. I'm not gonna like do the whole like add on the picture thing because I was really excited to have this list and next list where I have all the games and don't have, even if they're Mark's copy, and don't have to like edit the video, so I'm still not going to edit the video. So deal with it. Jaipur is a oddly aggressive today, I think. Maybe not oddly. Jaipur is a trading game, but for two people, and that is not normally something that works. But really, like it simplifies the trading down to its essence, and a lot of the trading is with the table. So you're like, well, I want this card. I'll take it from here. Another one comes out, and you're like, I'm going to take these ones, but that means I have to put other cards from my hand back. And so just the back and forth. It's Jaipur is a game where it's very easy to feel like you've outsmarted the other person, um, and I like that. Like it's an easy game to see the deep strategy, even though it is still deep strategy. For whatever reason, I think it really works. Anyway, that's number 71, Jaipur. Thanks for watching. Hoping to get to a couple more of these, but like next week I'll be out of town a lot, and I'm just like I don't know. So yeah, bear with me as I try to get these done. Don't harass me, Jimmy. And yeah, thanks everyone.